Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope your Labor Day weekend was smooth and relaxing and that back to school week has gone very smoothly. Well, there's something I want to talk about that's really important for the bride to understand. And we know that there have been many amazing teachers coming into the body of Christ and teaching us about the Genesis 6 catastrophe, how the watcher angels came down to earth, took wives for themselves, procreated with earthly women, and made offspring, which are called the Nephilim. And so we have to ask, why did they do this? Well, they wanted their offspring to be the government in all the territories. And so knowing that the earth was created for man, only man could be, in these ruling positions, they needed to have children that were part man, part angel. Well, we know that business has been going on ever since. There's nothing new under the sun. There's still wicked watcher angels coming down. There's some still, women that actually want to procreate with these watcher angels and have their children. Then there's some that are doing it unwillingly. We've learned all of this. There's many people teaching on this, and there's the biblical evidence and the archaeological evidence. But now something that I think that happens when we look at the dark realm very long and we start following all these rabbit trails, and they just lead to a darker and darker trail of more web that's very evil. And for some reason we find it's easy for us to find that interesting. But we need to be not experts in evil, but experts in righteousness. And so as we get back on that, stay on that path of righteousness, and we take a look at this scene from the throne room, and we know that Genesis 6 is still reoccurring. It has escaped us that Jesus is the righteous watcher angel, and he is going to fulfill Genesis 6. He too, as a watcher angel, is going to come to earth and catch up his bride at the pre-trib rapture. Now, he too is going to work with his bride to establish offspring that will be the government. How does that happen? Well, once you and I are raptured as the bride and we put on our glorified body, we will be part angel, part man. We will be able to traverse between heaven and earth. So once we're raptured, we're going to be working with Christ to gather our children and ready them for the mid-trib rapture of the church. Church speaks of government. That is what the offspring of the bride and groom will be gathering. So you see, this is the true remedy to Mount Herman. This is the true reversing of Herman, and I'm referring to the book of Dr. Michael Heiser, who is an amazing teacher. I mean, we're all so grateful to him because he is the one who really began speaking forth in layman's terms so that we could understand more clearly what happened in Genesis 6. And it has awakened a lot of church folk. Now, the reason why this is so important is because, our team here, we are aware of many of the teachers who teach on Genesis chapter 6. And we have noticed when it comes to the rapture, they are all across the board. Many of them won't even talk about the rapture because they're confused about it. Some know there's a rapture, they don't know where to place it. Do they place it pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib? So they try not to address that. And the unfortunate thing is, if they understood the ultimate reversing of Herman, if they understood that Jesus is the righteous watcher angel, that he too is going to fulfill that prophecy of Genesis 6, and he's going to snatch a bride at pre-trib, turn us into his hybrids, so to speak, And then we're going to work with Christ to gather our children and ready them for their mid-trib rapture of the church. Church is ecclesia. Ecclesia speaks of government. This is the true solution, the ultimate solution to what happened in Genesis chapter 6. And if all of these amazing teachers on Genesis 6 would just kind of consider and realize Jesus is the righteous watcher angel, then they would be preparing their listeners for the pre-tribulation rapture of the bride and what her role is going to be, and the mid-trib rapture of the church, the children, and what their role is going to be. Because there's three things the Father wants. He wants to secure a bride for his son, a suitable bride, a helpmate bride. So she needs to be glorified in her fancy body, her augmented body, her hybrid body, whatever you want to phrase you want to use it, whatever helps you kind of comprehend what we're going to be like. And then the second thing the Father wants is a righteous government in the heavenlies to replace the wicked watcher angels. And then the third thing that the Father wants is a righteous government on earth. And so that will be the remnant. So right there, we've just talked about the bride, the church, and the remnant. So when people are reading through the Gospels and they see this supernatural event, we need to help them see that it's not one event, it's three. The bride goes up first, pre-trib. The church at mid-trib. The remnant at post-trib. The remnant remain in their mortal bodies. They will be repopulating the earth during the millennial reign. So this helps us when we read the verses when Jesus talked about the strong man. Because Jesus is the strong man, and he's going to turn us into strong men. And he told us that the strong men, we need to protect our household. So when we kind of see that we're going to be turned into strong men, and the church is going to go up at mid-trib, and how about that, in their fancy hybrid bodies, that's when the dragon is thrown down and all of his angels. But see, there has to be that supernatural event of the mid-trib rapture of the government. See, the bride is not the government. She's not going to be the one kicking the dragon out. She's not going to be the one fighting in that battle with the righteous angels to kick out Satan's government in the heavenlies. That's for the church to do. So there's a purpose and a function for the pre-trib rapture of the bride and the mid-trib rapture of the church, and there's a purpose for the post-trib rapture of the post-trib translation, where they're snatched up in their geographic location, mortal bodies, taken to Jerusalem. All right. That's all I'm going to share today. I just want to keep it short and just make that one crucial point. Jesus is the righteous watcher angel. Genesis 6, he's going to fulfill it his way. It's a prophecy for us that we get the benefit of, the blessing of. That is how Herman is reversed. That's going to facilitate the remedy for that terrible, catastrophic event that happened in Genesis chapter 6, that mankind and this earth is still paying the price for. So I hope this greatly encourages you, because I'm not watching for the wicked Nephilim to come. I'm not watching for the watcher angels to come down. I'm watching for the righteous watcher angel to come down and grab me. I hope you are too. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.